The whole theme of today is to free our minds. Free our minds from the program that runs and turns infinite consciousness, and that's what we are, having an experience, into a four-legged animal from which we get wool, that lost its ability to decide perception of reality for themselves and needs to have it decided for them. Without that, the few couldn't control the many. With it, it's a piece of cake. When we do open our minds, go beyond that even, then we start to see reality in a different way. This is a wonderful quote. You were born an original, don't die a copy. So many people do that. They go through their lives thinking that the norm in society is the only possible perception of reality. And because the majority appear to believe it, therefore by definition it must be true. Truth does not change because it is or is not believed in by the majority of the people. As Gandhi said, even if you are in a minority of one, the truth is still the truth. And invariably, as we look through history, it turns out that way. It is the people who have challenged that have moved us forward in terms of our understanding of who we are and the nature of the world in which we live in. We live in a world of conflicts and war and famine, where a few people control and hijack the wealth in the expense of the majority of the people. We live in a world which, take a step back, take a deep breath, look at it again, is utterly bloody insane, and we are asked to believe, and so many people do that, we are somehow at the cutting edge of human evolution. We are nowhere near the edge of what is possible and what is there to be known. But the norms are very powerful, especially when, from cradle to grave, we are constantly manipulated and confused with contradictory information that, when we challenge it, we ridicule and laugh at. Another quote from Michael Elner. Just look at us. Everything is backwards. Everything is upside down. Doctors destroy health, lawyers destroy justice, and universities destroy knowledge, governments destroy freedom, the major media destroys information, and religions destroy spirituality. So we live in an upside down world. Why? Because all the way through our lives we are given instructions, and the world is turned into a maze of confusion. And it's done so that is to keep us from these simple truths, because complexity is there to stop us finding those simple truths. But when you connect the dots between apparently unconnected people, situations, organizations, world events, you then start to see how they fit together. Suddenly, this bewildering, confusing world starts to take on a much clearer dimension. Because only by connecting the dots over a vast range of subjects and situations and people can you start seeing why the world is upside down, why it is as it is, and crucially, behind that complexity, behind those smoke screens of complexity, why behind that is an amazing revelation of who we are and the nature of life, when you start to realize the difference between who we are and what the experience is telling us who we are manipulated to believe that we are. The key to this global conspiracy is to put humanity in a false identity, a false belief in who we are. It has to get us to see ourselves in terms of little me, powerless. What can I do? I'm Joe Public. I'm the reflection in the mirror. I have no power. When in fact, we're infinite consciousness having an experience as Joe Public. But what the manipulation has to do to put us in the box of mass control is to persuade us that we are the experience. And when we accept that, we are put into an energetic actual state. Instead of accessing the infinity of knowledge, understanding, awareness, love, and compassion, knowing that it is possible to access, we close our minds and we operate on a fraction of who we are. And only by putting us in this state of mind can the few control the many as they do. Take a deep breath, take a step back, and look at it again.
This isn't real.
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.